Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining today's live webinar. I'm your host, Dr. 𝐄𝐯𝐶𝐭. And today we're going to be talking how to maximize the power of LinkedIn for the business and for job seekers. So today we have a very special guest, and we already have one live event with her, and that was fabulous. And so we arranged this program to talk about LinkedIn for job seekers and businesses. So I will cover the business bits, and my guest will cover the job seeker bits. So today we're going to be having a great session. And thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. And we will have a great session. And I just wanted to introduce and bring my guest to the scene. So you already know her, Rebecca Maloney from Career Garage. So Rebecca, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. I'm looking forward to today's chat. I love LinkedIn. It's so
Yeah,
powerful when it's used properly.
it's great, because you have a huge LinkedIn connection base. I also have some connections on LinkedIn, and working on LinkedIn is like critical for anyone they wanted to extend their reach nowadays. Do you agree or do you disagree?
100% agree.
Yes, because I think the way you prioritize people for jobs, seeking jobs, is a core thing that I wouldn't have LinkedIn on when I started my job. LinkedIn wasn't that much famous, and it was just a, I would say, handler. But now, LinkedIn plays a vital role any places that you wanted to go, either in business, either in jobs. And is playing a vital role for your growth. And we're going to be talking about that today, Rebecca. So I wanted to ask you if you could introduce yourself to the audience, that would be fabulous.
Thank you very much. So yeah, you can see my name on there. My business is Career Garage. That has been born from me having a background of coming up for 30 years in the recruitment sector. So I've seen the way that recruitment's changed over the years. I've seen how the way you need to apply for jobs has changed over the years. And I have seen the power that LinkedIn can give you as a job seeker. I think your traditional job seeking methods is very subservient, almost like you're in Oliver with your begging bowl, like, please, sir, can I have a job? Whereas you can actually use LinkedIn immediately to engage with people and start conversations and stuff like that. So I've been using LinkedIn as a recruiter for the 25 years. I think it's only been going about 26 years or something, LinkedIn. So one of the very early users of it. Didn't quite understand the power of it when I first went on there, and I would have done what a lot of people have done, faffed about, played about, LinkedIn with people I already knew. Wasn't really posting anything on it, was using it more to be a bit of a voyeur, I suppose. What are other people doing? What are other people in the industry posting? And then it came about, actually, how do we use this platform?
I totally agree with you because, LinkedIn is still some of the people, they don't understand um, the versatility of the platform, because either some people misunderstood it, or they don't want to implement their methodology to get out there and grow with LinkedIn. So uh, specifically, my first question: why you think that LinkedIn is a good platform for job seekers?
Pretty much 90% of the business population is on there in one form or another, whether that's like a business page or all the individuals that work for that company, or you've got individuals who are self-employed, you freelancers. It just opens up the world to all the different ways that there are to work, all the different ways there are to earn money, all the different variety of businesses and companies out there. They've all got a different culture and ethos. You can use LinkedIn almost as if you're a member of the police. There's lots and lots of loads of clues just dotted around all over the place, and you've kind of just got to gather the information in. And I can see that there's a question actually on a question on the live that ties in with what I was going to say. So Radawan's asked, what are the key differences between how businesses and job seekers should approach LinkedIn? And I would say that there are none. There are none. You need a strategy, a plan. Why are you on there? Who do you need to engage with? Who do you need to connect with? Whose posts do you need to start reading, following, engaging with, commenting on, sharing, reposting, putting your own thoughts to it, engaging your audience in somebody else's LinkedIn work is beneficial to them as well. And you can sort of almost score imaginary brownie points with LinkedIn. I think a lot of people use LinkedIn that they're almost outside of the house party, that they're outside the window, the curtains are shut, there's a gap between the curtain, and you can just kind of see that there's something going on in there. And unless you turn up and knock on the door and turn up with a bottle of wine or with a cake or some food to share, or so some nuggets of gold, some interesting information, or sharing your knowledge and things like that, then LinkedIn are like, yeah, come to the party and keep coming to the party, and we'll start turning your volume button up. So,
Yes.
and that's brilliant whether you're a job seeker or a business owner. The only difference is if you're a job seeker currently in work, and you obviously need to keep your LinkedIn activity under the radar, and in which case it's more about then connecting with people and starting those private conversations with people via the messages side of it, rather than, you're not going to tell the world, I'm looking for a new job, I hate my current employer. Don't advise doing that. But yeah,
Okay.
the methodology is the same. It's just a different route to market.
Mm-hmm. Because, when I was a student, I'm talking about 20 years back, we did not have utilization of LinkedIn that much. But when times grown, Facebook got their famous as a famous platform. So when I was doing my education, I think Facebook was very famous in 2007, 8 on that time. And people used to say, okay, you have to have two profiles, one for education and one for your personal, because Facebook is totally personal things. So we used to do like, okay, two profiles. One is for job seekers and another one is for interaction for family and all other things. But gradually, LinkedIn specifically took that place, that, okay, job seeker one, rather than Facebook become more into personal. And
Yeah.
I did not realize maybe 6-7 years ago that LinkedIn is also prioritizing its methodology for businesses. So when I realized, okay, it's a good chance starting to utilizing LinkedIn, and you know that with LinkedIn, people earn millions, and some people, they will say, okay, I don't utilize LinkedIn, or maybe I do utilize LinkedIn and I cannot grow that much, because every growth is just combination of work, isn't it? You have to do social media, you have to do business development, you need to do sales, marketing. All those together will grow your network, grow your revenue. So next question to you, Rebecca. When you think about, yes, I'm a student, I'm a job seeker, what's the first thing they should consider when they are thinking of a LinkedIn profile?
Again, dependent on whether someone is in work or not in work. So if we'll start with, if you're not in work, don't be shy. Make it really easy for recruiters to identify the fact that you are actively looking and are immediately available, or you're being made redundant and are soon to become very employable again soon. So use the template that's there, which is the frame around your photo headshot, which says open for work. Some people think, oh, I don't want to look desperate. That's one take on it. The other take on it, you want to be found by recruiters and hiring managers, so why not make it easy for them to find you? Kind of take yourself out of that equation almost. There's nothing wrong in looking for work. It doesn't mean that you've got a flaw. It doesn't mean that you're damaged. It doesn't mean that no one's going to want you ever. Make it easy for a recruiter to identify that you are wanting them to ring them.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question, because sometimes I have seen that businesses, they also add the open to work
The
thing,
hiring,
hiring
yeah,
one, open to
yeah,
work as well. Uh, I've seen it mostly those people, they are consultant, they are small business,
yeah.
maybe they are slowpreneurs.
They want
So
to grow their client base.
they
Yeah,
wanted to grow their client base, so they have like open to work, like, okay, I have capacity to take more works. And I have seen it with many businesses, that okay, they are open to work because it attracts people in a way uh, that are other status aren't. So that's a good point. The next point, we have some messages from our audience. I will try to add them one by one, but before I jump into the conversation, I just wanted to ask you, uh, when you're growing your LinkedIn profile, um, you need to optimize that, how important it is to optimize your account, then start looking for job.
everything's chicken and egg. If you know what it is that you want to do next, if you are following the career you've already started and you're just looking to get a promotion or move up or whatever else, all that information is going to be relevant to a certain industry, and it's going to be very relevant key points that anyone recruiting in that industry is going to be looking for. So you kind of think, what would somebody be looking on a Google? If somebody was looking for me, how would they find me using Google? And that kind of needs to be within your headline. The other thing people need to consider is people really aren't that bothered by what you do. If they were that bothered about what you do, they'd be doing it themselves. What people really love to quickly see is, how do you help and who do you help? So again, depending on the kind of job titles you're going for, let's say you're an operations manager, talk about how you would help that business owner, what the outcome of them taking you on would be, what's the added value to you being involved in whatever sector, whatever industry it is. So that's easy. If someone is in job A and they are looking to just, they're done, they've had enough. I speak to a lot of teachers in this kind of category where they're just done. And their current information is all around teaching, and their current job is all around teaching, and they don't want to let their current employer know that they're job hunting. You can't really do much with your profile at that point, because it's going to be pretty obvious that, hang on, she's giving that up in a slightly different direction. What's going on here? And I'm not saying that all business owners and managers are sitting on LinkedIn waiting for the odd tweak on people's profiles. You can keep that private. On the back settings, you can untick the box that not every single update is publicised. So if you did want to tweak your job title or tweak your profile, you're not having to announce to the world that you've done that. So don't make that mistake. Make sure in your settings that is switched off. The approach is going to be slightly different to someone who is in work. They need to be representing their current employer in a really strong way, because if they're doing that for their current employer, they're going to do that for their next employer. So maybe not make it so much still about themselves, make it more about kind of what they're doing, what value they bring to the company, what that job role actually kind of looks like. And their approach is going to be more about then connecting with HR directors, HR managers, IT directors, kind of the top people that are making those hiring decisions. But that's going to be then, like I say, more of a off the public arena approach. I think where a lot of people use LinkedIn wrongly is they just go straight in for the sell. They connect, and then you get a ping, and there's a sales message there waiting. They've not asked you a single question. Do you use the thing they're selling? Are you likely to be buying the thing they're selling? Are you already using the thing they're selling? Are you happy using it or unhappy using it? They don't ask. They just go, buy this new CRM, this database, this mobile phone app, this. And I'm like, at least say hello. And it kind of needs to be the same with this. So I've got a lovely saying where I say nobody wants to be pitch slapped. So nobody wants to be like, connect straight into the inbox. And as a job seeker or as somebody looking for new business. Kind of give people a little bit of a break. So they've done the nicest bit, they've accepted your invitation. Leave it like that. When you give someone else an invitation to something, is it for right this second, right now? No, it isn't. If it's a party invitation, if it's an invitation to go to a networking event, if it's an invitation for a meeting, whatever it is, you're usually given a little bit of notice and warning on it, not just boom. So I say, set up a spreadsheet, start sending your connection requests out, and don't spend too much time researching people at this point. Just send the connection request. When those people start accepting, then research them. What kind of company are they working for? Is it a kind of company you want to work for or not? Set up a spreadsheet, have a page for the individuals who've connected, but have a page for the company that they work for. And a lot of this is then going to be about research back and forward. So another top tip is to always have at least 2 LinkedIn tabs open, so that if you're doing a search of any description, you can save that and not move it. You can come straight back to it. If you find a company name or a person you're interested in and you want to delve a bit deeper, take that over onto the other tab and do your checking out there, because you can end up going down a few little LinkedIn rabbit holes. And when you come to go back to your beginning search, yeah, that would have saved me a lot of time when I was first using LinkedIn.
I think that's the core thing, isn't it? Because LinkedIn is a very big platform and it does a lot of individual things. So as you said, if you're in a rabbit hole, then it's very difficult for you to overcome your barriers. So I think when you are thinking about LinkedIn, there are tons of videos on YouTube, and people can also connect people like a person like you who understand how you can prioritize a job seeker profile, and as well as I understand how you can prioritize a business profile, because two distinct things: one for people they are looking for a job, one for people they are looking for clients. And if you do not do it properly, then it's a mess. And I have seen that entrepreneur, like student entrepreneur, so they are looking for job and they are looking for work together. That a mismatch, and that time you can't be successful. So specifically,
I kind of disagree, if you don't mind, because are you not, in whatever those circumstances are you not branding you?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's how you communicate that there's 2 reasons to be on LinkedIn. Like we're all multifaceted. We've all got lots of layers. We've all got different things going on and different reasons to being on different platforms. So kind of why not just embrace that rather than trying to think of, you're not 2 people, but you've got 2 strategies. So maybe a Monday it's strategy A, Tuesday strategy B, Wednesday strategy A, Thursday strategy B. But it's all still about you, and it's still people getting to know you and how you function, how you communicate and everything. So I would disagree with keeping those things separate, because it's you.
Yes. So in relation, I have a counter question to you. I understand that when you have two distinct things, like, okay, you're looking for a job, and as well as you are looking for clients. So in that way, as you know, that if you are applying for somewhere, you have to tailor your methodology of that particular subject.
Yeah.
So how do you disagree and balance that? Because I understand, yes, you disagree, that's very fine, but you are looking for a job. Maybe you are looking for a job of a screenwriter, suppose, and you have another characteristics: you are an engineer, so you are looking for a engineering client. So a scriptwriter and engineer, they are not the same track, they are not the same domain. So how do you differentiate that? So when you apply for a screenwriter job, that you are seeking a job of a screenwriter, you have information that you're also looking for engineering job. So when you go for the interview, what you need to look into that?
I think the solution around there would be to set up a business page. So whether your screenwriting is your business or not, or it's something on the side that you're hoping to develop, I would set that up as a business. And on LinkedIn, along the top headline, where your photograph is on the top right, to the right of that, there's a little square made up of 9 squares, and that's where LinkedIn wants your money, really. That's where all the business side of LinkedIn is. If you scroll to the bottom, you can actually set up a business profile. So you could do that as a self-employed person, as a freelancer, so there's no reason why the engineering person can't be sharing information about their screenwriting entity as well. And you use the @sign, put the name of that screenwriting organization or project, or whatever title it's been given, put that in, and it would tag someone back to having a look at the screenwriting specific sort of business page if that was their leaning. And again, if you were then going to reach out to your contacts on LinkedIn, and yes, I'm an engineer, I'm clearly an engineer. However, still send out the connection requests to both sectors from the one profile, and then it's your reach out afterwards that's going to differ. Like you say, that's where you change your communication style and your angle. That's where you might put a link back to your screenwriting, like business page as such, and explain that in the day I'm an engineer, but by night and at weekends I'm a screenwriter. Can we have a chat? Here's a link to some of my work. Nobody leaves school at the age of 16 and wears the job title screenwriter.
No, I totally understand the ways you demonstrate it. So when I talk to someone, I totally agree what you say, that you can be multiple characteristics, you can be multiple things. When I deal with businesses, when I optimize their accounts, I say that, okay, if you are attracting businesses, people wanted to see that you are expert in one thing, and you wanted to sell one thing to one person, one business. But if they say that you wanted to sell multiple things to a single person, if they don't need those things, they're going to go away.
There is that. Then you've got to look at, is one of the businesses more important than the other? Which is the business that's going to give you the most margin or the most job satisfaction with the kind of work that you actually want to attract? And which one do you want to keep as a sideline? Which one has got the website so that you can be focusing as a full-on business? And are you keeping something else a little bit quieter, a little bit softer? There's still no harm in starting those conversations. But again, what are people's hobbies and interests outside of work? That can really start some amazing discussions on LinkedIn. It isn't just about sticking to a core subject. It is people getting to know you. And I think I'll pass on bits of information. I'm going to drop into this chat now that I used to 𝐶𝐶 for Great Britain. Well, is that not worth a post every now and again? It's not going to help me get any clients. Probably not. Unless someone wants a career in being an 𝐶𝐶 skater and they might want to chat that way. But what it does is like, oh, this person's really real, or, oh, wow. It doesn't have to be the business element of you that draws an audience to you or draws interest from clients and things like that. Again, that's multifaceted. There's loads of reasons. And also, if someone doesn't like you for a reason, brilliant. Let them sift themselves out of your life and existence. You don't need to waste any time on them. So if someone doesn't like the fact that you've got multiple talents, let them not accept your invitation. For every 10 you send out, 9 are going to accept them.
That's a great explanation, Rebecca, I would say. People, they have disabilities and neurodiversity and all those things. And I suffered myself due to my disability, my neurodiversity. When I disclosed my neurodiversity, I wasn't selected. Even I had the best characteristics. I have the best, job profile and all those things.
Yep.
So in that relation, if anyone, they have disability and neurodiversity watching this program, what is your suggestion for those people?
If you're able to, I would really look at the power of a cover letter. A CV is very one-dimensional. It's kind of looking for one angled information and kind of, what have you done? That's all I want to know. A cover letter really gives you the opportunity to bring that one-dimensional CV to life. It starts becoming a person. And I think the more human you are, the more you, let's say, you acknowledge that there's a skill set in a job spec that you just haven't done. Maybe you've got some of the other skills, but you haven't got a lot of the others. Don't ignore that. Address it and explain that you want to do more learning outside of work. You want to personally develop and grow. And I think it's the same with a health condition and a disability or a neurodiversity, whatever it is. Let's be a bit open about it. I think what a lot of employers are actually scared about, and actually just to put a bit more background into me, for 8 years, I actually worked for charities that help people with disabilities to come off benefits and return back to work. And I engage with local employers around work experience over interviews, or maybe starting on under the 16 hours a week, so kind of benefits aren't affected immediately from day one, and then let someone build up and sort of prove what stamina levels they are. Sometimes someone can have a health condition that it doesn't mean that they're going to need days off for doctor's appointments or hospital appointments. And I think some employers immediately catastrophize. So they get given a bit of information, disability. That's not on their radar. They're not dealing with it on a day-to-day basis in their own life. And that sounds like such a massive word. It sounds like such a massive minefield. So again, it's about that same LinkedIn photo frame. Make it easy for people. Let an employer know that, yes, you do have a health condition of whatever description, if it's a health condition, or is it a disability, or is it just, a difference, whatever you want to call it. But talk about it and explain that it's not something that needs time off. It could be something that's controlled with medication. And you can say, I've been on this medication now for 10 years. At the beginning, it was a nightmare. There was a lot of trial and error, and I would have probably missed work while it was being sorted out. But for the last 6 years, this medication's kept me on there. Take that catastrophizing imaginary thing that an employer's turned something into. Again, with neurodivergence, there's enough information out there. There's enough people that say it's actually my superpower. It might be awkward for other people around me. I might not be interested in chit chat around the kettle. I'm kind of not bothered. But actually, I'm not wasting time when you're paying me to work, because I'm not going to stand around chatting to my colleagues. I'm actually going to be sitting at my desk working, because the social elements in work, it just doesn't appeal. I'm never going to remember the name of David's child. So there's no point in me even having those conversations. Or, if you kind of say that, just leave me at my desk for 8 hours a day with my headphones in and just keep giving me work, I'm in my happy place. And again, some people will be like, no, we want a social office. There'll be other people that, God, we've got enough people in this office making a noise and chatting all day long. It'd be a joy having someone like this to balance out the team a bit. Again, the people who don't want that, they're going to self-sift themselves out. The ones who are like, oh, I really want to help this person. So if you sort of say, I have difficulty finding employment because people see neurodivergence and then they're worried about it, I'm wanting to talk to companies that actually want to embrace it. And also, more companies need to be aware of, they need to be reflecting their customer base as well. If they want to take money off everybody that lives on the planet, then surely that has to be reflected in their workforce as well, that, you are selling products to people with disabilities or neurodivergence, or that they need to be in your team. They need to be the ones that, actually, on the website, it would be better if, or actually, when you come into the shop or when you come into this building, it would be better if. You need those people that then make your company really, really accessible.
I totally get what you're saying. I totally agree this point as well. But I work with neurodivergent people and disabled people due to my work patterns and supporting it. And there are also BBC documentaries regarding achieving work success for disabled people is relatively very, very low. So there are reports suggested that if I'm not talking about everyone, I'm talking about majority of the employer, if they have low budgets, if they don't have enough facility, or they don't have enough resources, they intend to not to take neurodivergent or disabled people, because there are some constraint there. Like, okay, if you are applying for access to work support grants, it takes
Yeah.
ages to award it to you, and other benefits it take ages to award it to you. So the time being starting a job and then getting the award is like a year or sometimes 2 years. In that hurdle, I think the businesses, they don't have enough money, they are discouraged to take neurodivergent or disabled people because they cannot meet the demand. So what you do at that that space, because uk is most of them are SMEs,
Yeah.
and then is corporation. But corporation, they have a lot of money, they can hire anyone they want, and they use disability and neurodiversity as a marketing campaign. Like, okay, we are
Yeah.
for everyone, we support everyone. But small businesses, they can't tailor that methodology. So
No, but they could work with, say, I did work closely with a lot of people with a variety of different disabilities, including learning difficulties as well as neurodivergence and acquired brain injuries and things like that. So I know there's a real struggle out there for employment. I get that. And that then has a knock-on effect to someone's own self-belief, self-esteem, confidence. It can bring up real fears and feelings of anxiety and not being good enough. And like the average person has got imposter syndrome going on in their head at some point in their life anyway. So add a level of something that makes you already feel not quite good enough, or you feel that you're going to be judged by someone deciding that you're not right for them or whatever else. It's a real like traumatic experience looking for employment, with or without those different levels of, what we're going to call them. It's not an issue, is it? It's a difference, whatever word we're going to call it. And I think my answer is going to direct people straight back to LinkedIn again. Because if you were to actually put the word neurodivergence into the search toolbar and put neurodivergence Manchester, London, Birmingham, whatever, UK, and just hit the search button, and then search companies that are including neurodiversity somewhere within their company branding or their marketing, or look at other people. LinkedIn is now an arena where you can't do a search without finding someone being pro ND, or or articles about the benefits of employing people who are ND, or so it's sharing those articles along maybe with your own life experience. Like, what a shame not all employers operate like this example. In my experience, I found it really difficult to secure employment once employers know about my neurodiversities. Or make it about you and humanize it, because actually there might be one person reading that going, God, my son or daughter's had exactly the same problems as this person. How can I help them? You just need that one person to get that feeling. And ultimately, humans do like helping humans. I know there's some shady ones out there that want to do us all over, and we've got to be really cynical, and that does affect, again, people with neurodivergence. Who do you trust? Who don't you trust? But if you've got someone's name there and they're the CEO or they're the human resource director of a company that does exist, it's real, there's a safety net in using LinkedIn that you might not necessarily get with other platforms as well. You can, is that company real? Are they on Companies House? Are they actually limited? Are they a registered charity? You don't have to start any engagement with these until you're 100% sure that what you're dealing with is exactly what you're dealing with. And I think that adds, same with employers looking at potential employees. way more value to a LinkedIn profile than to a CV. Like anyone you've ever worked with, worked for, done work for, you should be asking for recommendations the minute that work's done. And you should be targeting that request, not leaving it as LinkedIn does, where, hi, please can you recommend me? Oh yeah, Rebecca's lovely. That's great. That's great. It's great to know that I'm lovely. But actually, Rebecca really helped me out when Rebecca was really effective in. So if I direct that request, oh, hi, Dr. Shah, do you remember when we did that live together and you said that you got really good feedback from your audience, hint, hint. You might want to like share that. It's getting that. So yes, you might approach someone and say you've got a neurodivergence, but actually you can then also say, scroll down my LinkedIn profile and there's 5 of my ex-bosses on there, or there's a handful of my ex-colleagues on there. And yeah, they all actually enjoyed working with me. So
that was a great explanation, Rebecca. So I'm going to share some of the questions and comments from the audience now. Ranu Patel, thank you very much for sending this lovely sharing your experiences, and you also have a question. So, hello everyone. I have spent over 15 years helping coaches, consultants, and service-based businesses grow through LinkedIn. But here's the truth. Many business owners still don't understand how the LinkedIn algorithm works or why optimizing their profile is non-negotiable for growth. You can't grow if your profile looks like a CV, not a sales tools. Your content doesn't. Sorry, it's a very long message. Your content, I just lost lost the
do you
wording
want
of
me to pick it up?
yeah.
If your content doesn't speak to your ideal client, you're invisible in search because of poor SEO, search engine optimization. You're posting without strategy or engagement. And Ranu is saying that she keeps seeing great businesses losing leads, visibility and credibility because they're not getting their profile right. They're not getting the information that they want the world to see out there. And again, this applies to job seekers in exactly the same way. Many job seekers still don't understand the LinkedIn algorithms either. I would liken it to, I'm going to do more of a business related liking here. Here's my analogy. Imagine you employed LinkedIn and it's a person. It would be the most amazing salesperson that you could possibly have on your sales team. And they could be one of the relationship building salespeople, or they could just be a predatory, cold calling, hard salesperson. I know which one of those two that I react to better, and it's not the second one. I always go off and lose track when I'm giving my analogy. Yes, so you can have a sales team of 10 people. 5 could be the first type, the relationship builders, and they still love their bonus and they want the extra money in their wage packet. But you've got the other salespeople who are like, they're going to clamber over all their other colleagues to get to that outcome ahead of them and kind of no cares given about anyone else. And if you employed that second type, you might actually end up in trouble with a criminal conviction because you might actually want to like, shut up. And they can be very needy. They need to be told on a daily basis, you're doing amazing, thank you, or keep at it. And they just like having their being patted on the head, told you're doing a great job. And that's enough to just fill them full of energy again. And then they're off ready for that next fix. And that's what LinkedIn's like. And you're feeding LinkedIn by keeping its audience on its platform. So if you're not posting anything of any interest and someone finds your profile, they might just as easily go and click onto Facebook. You've not kept them on LinkedIn's platform. So what use are you back to LinkedIn? In that instance, none. Are you posting interesting content that someone's stopping and reading and spending the next 3, 4, 5 minutes engrossed in rather than scrolling on Facebook? if you are posting material that is engaging your audience and people are commenting and resharing it, you are telling LinkedIn that you have got valuable knowledge and you're a specialist in the thing that you're talking about. And LinkedIn will start turning your volume button and your visibility button up at the same level that your engagement builds up. But again, it's a two-way thing. So don't think that you can log on to LinkedIn 2 or 3 times a week and just go, me, and disappear again. That's your one-sided, you're not bringing anything to the party kind of a person. You need to be engaging in other people's material so it looks to LinkedIn that you've been kept on that person's profile. You've been wanting to read what they've been posting about as well. You're then helping the other person in return without realizing it, because you're then giving value to their material that LinkedIn's also monitoring. I think if you become a giver, like anything in life, doing the giving stuff, so giving other people your time, giving people your attention, sharing their material on your page, widening their material to your audience, expanding their audience via your audience, and generally just helping other people on there, you are scoring so many more brownie points with LinkedIn, so that when you are putting your posts out there, it's way ahead of the people who are just logging on 2 or 3 times and going, me.
I totally agree with you, Rebecca, because whenever we are doing business profiles, I'm going to ask Ranu your questions. Yes, businesses, they don't actually get it there. Why LinkedIn is very crucial nowadays. LinkedIn has its own way to prioritize it and drag more customer, because you know that LinkedIn has different type of subscription models, and those models, they earn billions from the audiences. So if I give an example of my work, that when I talk to individual businesses, I ask them, do you have a LinkedIn profile, and do you utilize your LinkedIn profile for your business growth? That's my first question. And if they say no, then I would say, okay, you need that, because without that, it's a puzzle piece. So what I do, I give them, okay, this is a canvas, this is a puzzle canvas or business canvas, if you wanted to say, on business development. You have different type of things in there. Without appropriate blocks, you can't get you can't get the entire puzzle to work, because when you are working on a puzzle board, you need every small thing to make a full picture.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn is one of them, your website is another of them, your social media, TikTok. I'm not talking, sorry, TikTok, LinkedIn,
Google business.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So these are the few top rated social media that you need footprint. So what we do, we optimize business accounts. And as we discussed earlier, that do you need to have multiple characteristics on your profile? Yes, you could have. You could have. But what we do specifically, we target like 6 months, 3 months, or 2 months. That, okay, these 2 months we prioritize one dedicated things to target dedicated businesses that we can convert them very quickly. But when your profile is hazy with a lot of different things, because you need to understand that people, they are not versatile like you. That's why they are the systematic way they seek your services. And you are versatile, that's why you can build a business. So either way, you need to understand your target audience, who are they and what they want. So if you are selling, like if I say about my business, we do software development, we do marketing, we do lead generation, we do AI. And if I put everything together, people will get like frustrated. Okay, why I am there, what I'm going to buy, because I don't need all those things. So we prioritize things based on the our campaign. Like, okay, next 3 months we're going to be doing lead generation. Next 3 months we're going to be doing just for YouTube or TikTok or something like that, to attract individual genre. And then you can sell to them, because people want multi dimensional work. People wanted to go one place, and then you can they wanted to buy more when they understand your business. So that's one thing. Another thing we
Can I jump in on that? Can I add to
yes,
that? Do you
yes, yes,
mind?
yes.
I was speaking to a lady a year or so ago who has got her own cake making business, and she does make amazing, amazing cakes. And she gets a lot of business from Facebook and TikTok and Insta because they're very visual, very photographic heavy. And her husband kept telling her, you need to be on LinkedIn. And she could not understand it. She's like,
Mhm.
no one's going on LinkedIn to buy a cake. And I'm like, no one's going on LinkedIn necessarily to buy anything, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's what you find on there when you decide to look in. And I said, but this is the difference on the platform. So when you're on Facebook, TikTok, Insta, you're likely to get Rebecca getting in touch with you because it's my Auntie Mary's 80th birthday next month. And would you make me a cake? And that's great. I might contact you again in another 8 months' time. Maybe my imaginary daughter's turning 18 and I might need another cake then. But how many cakes is she going to get out of me as an individual? There'll be knock-on sales because there'll be a lot of people at Auntie Mary's 80th and they'll go, oh, that was a good cake. Who made the cake? And you
Mhm.
get that word of mouth stuff. Where the differentiator with LinkedIn was, you need to be speaking to business owners, HR managers, financial managers. When is it that company's anniversary? When's it that birthday? Are they going to events? Are they having stalls at events? Do they need 1,000 cupcakes making rather than 25? Do
Mhm.
they need a massive celebratory cake that they're going to use for social media posts? Are you telling people they could use your cake as their social media post? You are looking at getting a customer wanting 1,000 times size order compared to somebody booking you for Auntie Mary's 80th. I'm like, you have got two very different orders. And she was like, I get it.
Mhm. I totally support what you just said, because LinkedIn, who wants to come to LinkedIn to get clients? And they will not get clients until their puzzle piece is ready. So if you have a very nice LinkedIn profile, but you don't have a website, you don't have social media, and you don't have all those things all together, people now, they wanted to see authority on you.
Yeah.
So if you are authoritative, if you are knowledgeable, your content will tell that to your target audience. Yes, I'm authoritative, I have enough knowledge, so if you become my clients, I will make you momentum. So Ranu, I think you got our points. Like, you need to talk to your clients straight away that this is the things that you need nowadays. You cannot master all together, you need to master one after another. So the first puzzle piece is LinkedIn. First, LinkedIn, no compromise. You have to have LinkedIn. And then Rebecca gave an example like why you need it. On the first day you don't earn money from LinkedIn, there is a process. And what we do specifically when we work with our clients: attract, nurture, convert. So you need to attract people, nurture that relation, and that convert them to your client base. So you have to follow this for anything. It's just like a methodology. You need to attract someone, nurture that relation, and then convert them to your client. And it works for us, it will work for anyone if you follow that methodology, even in LinkedIn and any other social media. That's the standard procedure. Another thing that we do nowadays, because YouTube shorts, YouTube videos, TikTok, Facebook shorts, Facebook videos are very, very popular. So they are now on fingertip tip. We say people, they just scroll one after another, one after another. So it would be better when you produce podcast or webinar like this. So on our previous webinar, Rebecca, we got like thousands of views on YouTube. And it's the attraction for people. People from different areas, they come and they watch and they like those contents, and it also growing your person and authority. So if you have like, okay, you have few hundred clips on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and all those things, if people search you by name, like, okay, Rebecca Maloney, you're going to be on their feed, you're going to be on Google, you're going to be everywhere. So who do they choose like you? Who do they select to work with you? Those people, they have this footprint, they have this authority. But those people, they don't have that authority. People not going to work with them because it's the trust, it's the persona. they will work. Isn't it, Rebecca?
100% that. And you've made me think of a brilliant example to give you for job seekers here. So I was working on a recruitment requirement for a company in Manchester, put a couple of candidates forward, and they selected one to interview. So at that point, the candidate's totally anonymous. I anonymise, and you won't even know the person's gender. It's just about their CV, and not try and make it as least. None of the isms can be used. If you don't know if it's a man or a woman, you don't know if all this stuff. It's like you're judging them purely on the CV. So they've judged this person and decided they're good enough for an interview, which is brilliant. So I've gone away. I've organised it with the candidate. Got a couple of suggestions for dates and times off the employer. Put those to the candidate. We fixed the time and the date. I've then gone in and edited the CV to then put all their contact details in so that this company then knows who it is that they're actually interviewing. And the company came back to me and they said, can't find this guy on LinkedIn. I was like, right, okay. So like, can you just check with him if he's on LinkedIn or not? So I got in touch with him. I'm like, have you got a LinkedIn profile? And he says, no, I've never needed one. It's not the law. I don't have to have one. And this employer withdrew the interview offer because they can't just trust a CV. A CV is just words, whereas LinkedIn is evidencing those words. There's a lot more meat on the bones. If someone has given you a testimonial or recommendation, you can then click on their profile. Who are they? Oh, they're the CEO of Microsoft, are they? Right. And they're giving this kind of a reference. You're getting that immediate information that you're just not getting from a CV. And it was enough for an employer to withdraw an interview offer because they were like, almost didn't trust him for not being on there.
I totally get what you're saying. That's why it is important. So if you're a business or if you're a job seeker, your LinkedIn footprint is very necessarily needed. You might have Facebook and all other social media. People not going to go over there because for professional purposes, people will only go to your LinkedIn and they will see if you have a profile that you're looking for. So you might have multiple characteristics. That's okay. That's not a problem because new divergent people, they have 10 things. But as Rebecca said, and I also prioritize that if you're looking for a job, so you can do Monday prioritizing something, or maybe 1 week you prioritize something, the other week you prioritize different things. But the way you were doing it, you need to make a sell there that you are an expert. So that's the thing they will see. If you're an expert, and there are some bonus points as well, Rebecca, isn't it? So they are looking for a software developer, but you are very good at social media, like, okay, LinkedIn. So they will say, okay, if I hire this software developer, it's a bonus point. They're very active on LinkedIn. So they're going to be doing promotion for the company. So they're going to be hiring you rather than hiring someone. They are very much inactive in LinkedIn. What do you say about that?
100% that. And again, it's the way you behave on LinkedIn is giving loads of clues about your personality that won't come through on a CV. So you're tenacious. You're doing it differently. You're reaching out. You're not shy about approaching the HR director or even the CEO or the company owner, whoever it is. So yeah, you've got a strategy, you've got a plan, you've got a focus. You can then communicate when you have found the person that you want to reach out to. Who wouldn't want to employ that?
That's the thing. So I think thank you everyone for joining today's live webinar. We are nearly end of our session. We're going to take a few more questions. I do apologize that we cannot take all the questions here. But my next question is from Salahuddin. He said, how can business use LinkedIn analytics to improve content performance? I think that's a very important.
And it's one for you.
Yes. So specifically, everything has to be measurable. When you do businesses, it has to measure what your steps and what you do. So LinkedIn itself measure its performance. So if you go to the back end of LinkedIn, you will see that you can see how many connection you have grown, how your viewings and all those things, who visited your profile, all those things is very important. So when you're posting with a specific pattern, like Monday to Friday, so we would do Monday is the attract post. So with attract post, what we do, we post viral videos, like people, they laugh about that, and that creates your attraction bit, or you attracting people. uh, and as well as knowledgeable things, like people wanted to know about something that you do. Then the nurture one, we also create post for knowledge sharing. Like, okay, if you are in textile, like I'm a part of Green Threads now, so we are supporting textile organization in the UK and global. So on the Wednesday one, we add different type of research, like, okay, they are doing this, they are doing this laws is happening, that laws is happening. So that's your nurture one, so people know, oh, you are knowledgeable. So that means that, okay, I will follow you. That Rebecca said earlier, people have to stick to your profile and they have to understand what you're doing properly. And the Friday is all about making the nudging people, or making the noise, like, okay, I am the person, or I am a group of person, I'm within a group, or my company, we are very good at what we have said earlier. So that's the way you have to prioritize your LinkedIn profile to get out there. And all those things you would do, you will see LinkedIn will get your account to hundreds or even millions of people. We can refer to some of our clients that 500,000 people are watching what they are doing. That's a great things. And as well as you will understand when it is dropping and when it is increasing. So you can change your style of post every week, every month. And if we work that way, that will give you the growth you are looking for. Another thing might, this is for the busy CEOs and those people, they don't have time for social media. There are lots of people out there, companies like us and others. We support busy CEOs, like prioritizing content planner. Like, okay, we have 6-month planner. In 6 months, will you do this for you? Maybe we will do one webinar every month, and that webinar will feed you thousands of customer viewers, and people will know, okay, this is the person we're looking for. You don't need to have enough time for social media, but you have to have that view, how you can engage and how you can create the persona that you're looking for.
Yeah. And my knowledge does cross over, because people are like, why is a career coach speaking to business owners about LinkedIn? But it's what I said before, it's the same strategy and pattern. So I've actually gone in on site to some employers and like worked with, you would think immediately work with their sales team to get them all using LinkedIn effectively. But I want to ask a lot of employers, why are they not engaging their entire workforce in understanding the power of LinkedIn? And yes, it is your personal profile on LinkedIn, but if you're employed by a company and they bring it up at interview stage and actually make it part of their business marketing strategy themselves on day one, this is an expectation of ours, that you will share the daily business posts that we are creating, our marketing team's creating this work. So instead of relying on the 10 salespeople, actually, you're now relying on the 25 people, including the warehouse person and the driver and the accountant and whoever else, to be sharing that create story, because each and every one of them have got a different audience. They're all connected to different people. And I think a lot of businesses, I think, the point was made earlier by Ranu that a lot of companies don't understand its importance anyway. But then if they are understanding it, they're still not maximizing it. And yeah, you've got, you have got some staff that are non-fee earning staff. Doesn't mean they can't earn a little extra commission if they were to pull a new client in from what they're posting on LinkedIn about their business. Make it an incentive to the non-sales staff that you bring in some customers from LinkedIn, there'll be a thank you. It's part of your sales strategy. It's massive.
I totally agree with you. So we are nearly end of our session, Rebecca. Time flies when we start our conversation. So we're going to be having more events and webinar like this with Rebecca. So if you wanted to ask us any question, feel free to engage with our LinkedIn profile and any other social media profile. Uh, Rebecca is a real has real knowledge on LinkedIn for job seekers, and we support businesses to go to the next levels. There isn't any good time that you can start. This is the good time. You have to start it now.
If
If
you
you
haven't
don't,
already started, no.
yes. So people say, okay, the right time will come. The right time will never come if you don't start, because it's a trial and error platforms. So you don't know what you need to do until you implement your methodology to the platform. So it's trial and error. So if you start it today, you will see in 6 months time, you will become knowledgeable and you will get a start converting people through LinkedIn if it's job seeker or if it's businesses. And if you need experts, Rebecca is there. I'm here. We are more than happy to assist you. And sometimes we assist free, isn't it, Rebecca? So don't worry about anything, any investment right now. Think about if you think you need your systematic way, your LinkedIn profile to be sorted, DM us and we will get out there. So, Rebecca, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, everyone, for your time. And please subscribe to our newsletters, and as well as please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like and share this video with your network. I think it will support them to think about starting right now. So thank you.
And if Mohammed Rayan Uddin wants to put that question to me via LinkedIn, I'm happy to answer it.
That's fine. Thank you. So if you have any question, just ask Rebecca. And we'll welcome you maybe in September, because this is the holiday month from tomorrow, 1st of August, uh, until my next live. Thank you, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.